Good evening, everybody. How are you today? And welcome to the latest edition of Drew Mania Live. So great to have you with us on this Thursday, the 13th day of January, the year 2022. And of course, this is yours truly, Andrew L. Perry. Yes, indeed. As always, coming to you live and at you from the busy streets, which is New York City, as it's been warm today. Temperatures in the 40s, so it's much colder than the past few days. The Monday and Tuesday has been bone chilling cold, so it's very nice to get a little breather, so to speak, as far as the warm weather, as far as the weather is concerned. As I chat to you what is happening in the world of sports, we have a lot to discuss you're not going to get a lot of NBA here, so forget about the NBA. Djokovic, the Djokovic saga continues, but the theme today of this show, and by the way, this is the first show we're doing in the 2022 season. To kick off, season 6, season 5 of Drew Mania Live and Drew Mania. So I'm really excited about this year. So we're going to get more shows. We're going to do our best to get more interviews and stuff like that. But I want to kick off the NFL. Let's start off with the NFL as we wrap. Before we discuss the wild card, the Super Wild Card weekend that's coming up this Saturday, Sunday, and the first game to be on Monday night. Let's put a finishing tie on the NFL season, and the thing and all after Monday let's start off with the Chargers Raiders game. The Charger Raider game, the best game of the week for that of the week. But the games like this is why we love sports, and the NFL shows you on week 18. Show you why they're the kings of football. They're the kings of the sport. No sport, not the NBA, not the NHL, not baseball. No sport. And when it comes to the regular season, when it comes to the final week of the regular season, get you give you more than the NFL did. And what we saw in this past Sunday on week 18. Is why the NFL are kings. The Indianapolis Colts, who have who have one of the easiest playoff scenario, win and you're in. And they were not the only one. The 49ers win and they're in. Same thing with the Saints, win and they're in, and a 49er lose. But out of all the scenarios, the Colts had it easy. And what they do, they took the Jaguars for granted. And yes, the Jaguars the Colts haven't won a game in Jacksonville in quite some time. So, Jacksonville have nothing to play for. They are 2-4. Their season is over. And what they do, they play for their pride. And for that, you give the Jaguars all the credit in the world. And as for the Colts, a terrible loss and a terrible way to end your season. Especially when you made this trade to get Carson Wentz. And at this point, I'm over Carson Wentz at this point. I'm over. I thought when last year in 2021 when Max Kellerman was killing Carson Wentz, I thought he was being too harsh on Carson Wentz. Now we could say Max Kellerman is right. Because I don't know how Frank Reich did not have his team prepared for the postseason. Because like I said, the Colts have out of all the scenarios, the Raiders, the Chargers, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Saints, and the 49ers, the Colts have the easiest. Cannot screw it up. How you have the easiest scenario and you let the Jaguars beat you? Or Trevor Lawrence looking like Joe Montana. The tall version of Joe Montana, for that matter. And for you guys to come flat like that is disgraceful. That is disgraceful. And to come out like that when the playoffs is on the line, you don't deserve to go to the playoffs. You know which team? Who else didn't deserve to be in the playoffs either? The San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers. Okay, now with the Raiders Chargers. Now, to be honest, I thought, well, in the fourth quarter, okay, is under 5 minutes to go, okay, it's 14-29 at this point, okay. I thought for a second this game was over. This game was over, and the fact Justin Herbert, who played sensational. Justin Herbert, who's completed 99% of his passes, or quarterback rating of 99.5%. Bring the Chargers from dead on 4 occasions. The Chargers, in my mind, lost the game for 2 reasons. 2 reasons. Their defense, who gave up, how the hell you gave up a 3rd and 23 on a running play? Explain that to me. Josh Jacobs, I know he's a very good running back. He's a good running back. But the fact you let Josh Jacobs ran the ball and the Raiders run the ball all over the Chargers. All over the Chargers. You know? And the Raiders played like they wanted to play. They wanted to be in the playoffs. The Raiders played like they wanted to be in the playoffs. So I give the Raiders all the credit in the world for fighting the way they did and battling back the way they did. Now let's get back to the Chargers. How the hell you let a 3rd down? How you let a 3rd down play? I don't know how. And like I said, Brandon Jacobs is a good running back, but you let that play should have never a give up running play. You thought, all right, I'll give up running play. The most he'll stop the most he'll get is to 5 yards. Not only that, he got more than that. Josh Jacobs got a 1st down. And have the nerve, and then when you go into halftime, you have the nerve and the audacity for the head coach of the Chargers to yell at the back judge for making a tremendous call. And by the way, for the refs, I'll get to the refs in a minute. You cannot get on your defense for not stopping a give-up play on 3rd down. Are you serious? Are you serious? And the game is 21. And the game is 20. The game, okay, you score a touchdown. It's 20-20. It's 20-20. It's 29-20. Okay. Why the hell are you going for 2? Why are you going for 2? In that moment, you didn't need to go for two. Okay? You didn't need to go for two. You could have kicked it. Okay. You probably, the most you'll kick the extra is the extra point. You'll kick the extra point, and then maybe when you score the touchdown, maybe you did. But in that sequence, you didn't have to go for two. You didn't have to go for two. So that didn't bother me. That didn't really bother me as much. But it was like whatever. But the thing that bothers me the most, looking back in this game more and more, what the hell? What the hell are you doing calling a timeout with 30 minutes to go in overtime? And the Raiders at this point, and they could deny this all they want, the Raiders at this point was thinking about a tie because they would love to knock. They wanted to knock the Steelers out. They wanted to knock the Steelers out, and I believe they would have ended the time. I don't know about you guys, but part of me was voting for a tie. I wanted to see the Raiders and the Chargers because you get into the playoffs and knock the Steelers out of the playoffs. Instead, the coach of the San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers called a timeout. Now, I didn't flip at the time. I didn't make a big deal out of it at the time. But looking back at it, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? And then after he called a timeout, Jacobs rushed the ball for 11 yards. Then the Raiders burned the timeout, I believe. Kick a field goal, kick a 47-yard. Chaplin kick a 74-yard field goal. Good night. Raiders and Steelers are in the playoffs, and the Chargers are out. There goes the offseason. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? Are you freaking serious? If I was the Chargers, and if the tie gets you in, I will let the Raiders run out the clock. Run out the clock. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if y'all end up wasting Justin Herbert's career because of y'all stupidity, Justin Herbert is gonna go somewhere else. That's how athletes are. They are not spending 10 years in a losing situation. And they see a championship team and they feel they're good enough to be in, they're good enough to win, they're going to go somewhere else. But anyway, kudos to the Raiders. The Raiders had a hell of a season with the John Gruden emails. They overcome the emails. They overcome the death of John Madden. And the result, the Raiders got into the playoffs. And Derek Carr, remember folks, this would be Derek Carr's first start as an NFL, first playoff start. Because remember, when the Raiders in 2016, when they was in the playoff as a wild card against the Houston Texans, he was not the quarterback. He was not the quarterback. So Derek Carr, who's back in the playoffs, and this time they're healthy, I think the Raiders will be dangerous. I can see the Raiders beat the Bengals. Remember, the Bengals haven't won a playoff game since 1990. But back to the game itself. This is not the first time I've seen this coach from the Chargers do something stupid in this game. I remember he did this worse what he did in Kansas City. In the Kansas City game, hosting the Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday night, where his team go for it on fourth down in the own red zone, and the game was 0-0, and it was no score at that point. No score at that point. So if he continues